All right, let's go ahead and get our text formatted, and then it should be ready, if all these steps are done, to go ahead and export as a PDF. This is very similar to our newspaper project, except instead of the 5 styles, we're only dealing with 2. One is the body copy, and the second is our chapter. So really, once we set our body copy, we don't have to worry about that again because we work backwards just like we do with our newspaper. So let's set a body style. I'm going to select all, so everything's selected. I used Perpetua in the footer, so let's go ahead and use Perpetua regular. And the 12 point is just going to be a little bit too big, so let's take it down to, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, depending on your readability. I know some of you like it larger than in scale than others, so it's going to depend on your personal preferences. As usual, check out some books and figure out which one looks like the style that you like best. These tabs are way too big. Remember, just like the newspaper, we don't want a default tab, just like we don't want a default typeface, so we have to go in and tell it to be something different. You can use Shift Apple T, or you can go into type and then tabs, and then our little tab bar is going to pop up. And I'm just going to deselect, but I'm going to zoom in so you can really see what we're doing here. And I'm going to get the tab set up over it so we can really look and see how it functions. All right, I'm going to select all again because remember, we want the tabs to be changed for the entire document since we're setting up the format. Okay, just a refresher on this. Instinct, I've noticed, makes people want to click on these 2 little white triangles that sort of form a larger triangle. You do not want to click on those. You want to click on this area here. So you see it's dark gray, light gray, and then the black of the ruler. Shoot for this light gray area. Click and hold, and you'll be able to see. And I'm still holding. I'm not going to let go until I say let go. So I'm going to click and hold it. And you can drag it wherever you want. No matter where you drag it on this bar, it's going to have this white line. And where that white line would stop is where your tab would stop. Now, obviously, we don't want 1 1/4 inch tab. That looks ridiculous for this project. To edit it, you can either delete it by just, tapping your delete key. Oh, we don't want to do that. To have this activate and delete it, or we can just scroll it back. Let's just scroll it back. It was defaulted to, I'm sorry, you would have to have hit the refresh over here, clear all. You can just scroll back. 1/2 inch was way too large, so let's just take it back to 1/4 inch. Or you could have even less if you want, or you could put it just slightly more, but that 1/2 inch is just a little bit too strange for a book project. Again, go look at some books and see which ones you think look good, and then decide from there. When you're done with the tab, you can just go ahead and close it. Now, I still have my invisibles on. So if you want, you can hide those hidden characters if it bothers you. Honestly, I usually don't mind working with them because I sort of forget they're there. One thing I would consider is our friend the hyphen. If you do not want the hyphens, which for a book, I'm on the fence. So it's going to depend on what you're working on. Like, I'll call it the romancy novels tend to have hyphens, but the higher end of the spectrum type books, they usually don't. So, figure out which one do you like or which don't you like. So this one's without the hyphens. Do you want it justified with the last line aligned left? There's a lot of stylistic tweaks that you can consider. Again, go look at some books, figure out which one works the best for you. If you're 100% happy with this, you would go into your paragraph styles, which apparently isn't out for me. Go up to styles, paragraph styles, and it'll pop up. When I'm done, I'm going to put it down there sort of on my swatches. Let's expand that so we can see it. All right, go to that drop down, new paragraph style. And I'm going to call this body copy. paragraphs, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. You could call it apples for as much as it matters, as long as you know what it is. If you're working on a team, don't call it something like apples, but, if it's just you, your nomenclature is, whatever. The only other thing you have to worry about is getting our headers for our chapters. You have a couple options with this. Pretty much once you set your body copy, unless you add more copy, you're done with it, so you don't have to go back into there. So all you have to worry about is your chapter. So I don't know, maybe we want it centered, and let's get a different typeface completely. Let's go with, oh, that looks terrible. I was thinking like a nice script might look okay with this. Sort of in the style of Jane. No, I don't like any of these. So I'm going to go back to my Perpetua. I am a bit of an old schooler when it comes to typefaces. If it wasn't in caps, maybe the fancier would have looked better. I don't know. Maybe we'll make it like 12 point. Let's make it slightly larger so it really stands out. And when I'm completely happy, and I could have put it on the right, I could have put it wherever, but I'm liking where that's heading. Chapter. Maybe you want to consider an extra space or two in between that. You'll be adding that to it. Let's zoom it out. I think it sort of looks better with that. Now remember, I didn't get all my styles on this, so there's going to be a couple tweaks that I have to go forth and find. Here's our chapter 2. Let's just get it by itself. I would have had to done that break character for our page break. Get that on the next page. Do my return, and then click, and we're on our chapter, and it automatically fixes it. Now, I remember from the last tutorial, I only did the first couple pages. So when you get to yours, let's just show the hiddens again. You can find all the tabs and tweak it from there. And there are no tabs in here because I didn't get that far. So this part would have already been done, and on this part, you're just doing the stylistic tweaks. When you are 100% happy and finished, of course, save. I can't stress that enough. Go to Export, Apple E, or Control E if you're on a PC. And we're going to want this as an Adobe PDF print. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Save, keep it on the high quality, and hit Export. When it's all finished, go into it, you can double click, check it, and let's just scroll up, because the only chapter that looks really nice is page 1 of chapter 1, but you can get the idea of its readability, and that's actually looking pretty decent. So when you're all finished, you're going to be doing the pages as a PDF and a cover as the PDF. In the next tutorial, I'm going to go over the cover.